And the Citadel still on Sports South. Hi, everybody. Dave Weekley at courtside at the Asheville Civic Center alongside Butch Estes. Butch, good to see you.
Thanks, David. Pleasure to be with you. I'm a lot more relaxed this season than I was last season.
Hey, I believe it. Let's talk a little bit about the game just completed. UTC really dodged a bullet from Georgia Southern, winning and advancing to the Final Four, 70-66. Why was the game so close in your mind?
Well, I'm not surprised at all. I think Georgia Southern, they've had a lot of adversity this year, but they've really had an outstanding, talented basketball team. They came to Asheville ready to play. They proved that last night with a convincing win of a very good VMI team, and then today gave Chattanooga everything they wanted.
But it was kind of surprising to me that Georgia Southern played as well as they did last night. They had lost 7 straight games coming to the tournament.
But I just don't think, a lot of times the mindset of going to the tournament, when you had a bad run coming into it, that's not all bad, because the tournament gives you new life and a new opportunity, and they took advantage. They were able today, Dave, to stay close to Chattanooga, mainly because of rebounding. You look on that stat sheet, see a big difference. And if Chattanooga is going to continue to be successful in this tournament, they're going to have to find a way to rebound. That's their weakness. Without Roger Smith, that's where they're really hurting.
Butch, let's break down some game tape of this action. And without Roger Smith, UTC may be lacking a bit inside, although Patrick Henderson did have 14. He came up big.
Well, he did. He probably had his best game of the year, and, you know, they're going to need him.
And as far as Mario Hansen, there's Henderson. He goes inside. He had a big 14 in this game. Hansen had 14. Brandon Bourne led the way with 21 points. UTC, though, struggled a bit. How do you like their chances against East Tennessee State if they get that far?
Well, you know, that's a big if. You talk to me as a coach now. I'm not going to say East Tennessee's going to get there after this game, but, you know, I like Chattanooga. I still think they have a good squad. They've got Mario Hansen and Brandon Bourne, and they're two of the premier players in the conference, so they've got an opportunity every time they take the court.
Let's take a look at the final stats from the game just completed. UTC moving through, and the Mocs shot 57% from the field, 3-point field goals. Well, the Mocs look good there too, hitting 50% from outside the arc. And hey, you can appreciate this as a coach. Look at the additional opportunities they had at the free throw line.
Well, of course, you're exactly right. That was a big key, but you see the rebounding difference. That was a reason for that is the poor shooting by the Georgia Southern Eagles. And the Mocs had a great shooting day, good from the free throw line. They continue to, a lot of assists there. That's not bad. We don't have the turnovers up there. That's very important too. But a good win for the Mocs. And are you surprised? We said it was anybody's tournament. I think every game's going to be close.
Well, I hope so. I think this is going to be an extremely close tournament. And Brandon Bourne from the outside, I mean, he's going to care. UTC's going to go as far as Brandon Bourne can really take them.
I think those two guys, Mario Hansen, Brandon Bourne, have got to have good games, consistent games. That's Brandon Bourne at his best right there outside that three-point arc.
You know, some things have been said about UTC maybe not being quite as strong in the backcourt as they have been in recent years. But those stats pointed out, I mean, they had 20 assists. That's good.
Well, I still don't think they're quite as good as they have been in the backcourt. But yet, you know, he's running a combination of a lot of guys in the game. And through it all, they get the job done. And that's the bottom line. They don't ask you how. They just ask you how many.
Butch, while we got you up here, let's handicap this upcoming game a little bit. Citadel and East Tennessee State. Citadel Bulldogs, they've lost 9 consecutive games in this tournament. They've lost 15 games of all kinds in a row to East Tennessee State. They've got a big disadvantage going into this ball game.
They do. You know, they've got a really young team, Dave. They're playing 8 freshmen, and yeah, they're able to win 11 or 12 games. So this has been a good year by Citadel standards, and I think they can expect better in the future years. Pat Dennis does an outstanding job. We've got a game of 2 different tempos here. Citadel's going to want to come in and play half court and slow it down, and East Tennessee State wants to let it all out, hang out, baby. Let's get out and run up and down the court, and our viewers will be able to watch and see who grabs the hold of the tempo. And usually, I wouldn't want to guess. We got 2 good coaches, 2 good teams, and it's going to be interesting.
Well, you know, when you get into tournament time, defense normally wins tournament games. These games have a tendency to be a bit lower scoring. If the Citadel can get East Tennessee State into a half-court game, they may have a shot today.
Well, they really do, and that is the key. They want to slow it down, keep it close, and hang around to the end, and they'll have a chance. But I did a game Monday night up at East Tennessee State, and they really played well. It was senior night. There was a lot of emotion, but I think East Tennessee State's coming to this game with the right attitude. But I know Citadel Citadel's up to the challenge.
Yeah, you saw that game, and I watched to do that game. I wanted to ask you, which East Tennessee State team do you think will show up? The one that struggled for 3/4 of the year, or the one that looked great in running over the Mocs at the Mini-Dome?
Well, Alan LaForce hopes that one that looked great that ran over the Mocs, but they have been a little inconsistent this year. There's no question. I think there's been a lot of inconsistency in the guard play in the league this year. You know, they've had Dots in their fine freshman's been hurt. Doggett has been subbed in, the transfer from Wake Forest. He did a great job the other night, but on other nights he hadn't been so good. So, you know, it's just up to the guard play. We'll also have one of the best three-point shooters in the country in Noel Castillo from the Citadel, and that will be a key defensively for East Tennessee State. They don't want to let old Noel get going because he can even things up in a hurry with that three-pointer.
And finally, let me ask you about the big man for the Buccaneers, Tony Patterson. When he comes to play, he's as devastating as anybody in this league.
Well, you know, he and Roger Smith from UT were the two premier big guys, really the only big guys in the league. Smith been down now, but Patterson can be good if he comes ready to play, and he'll have to if they're going to win the tournament.
All right, Butch, good to see you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave.
We'll have much more in just a moment from Asheville. Time for our second Southern Conference Tournament quarterfinal of the day. The Citadel Bulldogs set to meet the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Weekley. Well, in our first game today, UTC has already advanced to the Final Four with a big win over Georgia Southern. Now we'll see who will meet the Mocs in their half of the bracket in the next round. UTC already a winner. Now, the Citadel looking to turn things around in Asheville. The Bulldogs have dropped 9 straight Southern Conference tourney games, 15 games in a row to East Tennessee State. For more on this matchup, let's go courtside to Randy Smith and Mike Pratt. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dave. Hi again, everybody. East Tennessee State, or UTC, has won this tournament 7 consecutive years. Both of them feel like they're contenders again. UTC has already won today, Mike, and the Bucks have a big one coming up.
They certainly do, Randy, and the Bucks are going to have to play more consistent. It's been an up and down roller coaster ride year. They've made a lot of turnovers when they lost, and they haven't shot well. When they've won on the road. They haven't won at home, so it's kind of a confusing year, but they are in position to be there on Sunday night.
All right, let's take a look now at those U.S. Air keys to today's game.
Well, for the Citadel, this is their first tournament for the majority of their players, young team, freshmen and sophomores. They must dictate defensive tempo. They must control the tempo. The Bucks, a consistent effort. No roller coaster ride. They must eliminate the turnovers. I would say they want to turn the pace as high as it can go.
Now, the Bulldogs have several offensive threats. We talked about Noe Castillo, a great three-point shooter, and then there's Moncrief Michael inside.
Well, Moncrief Michael is a guy who has put up big numbers and could put up big numbers. 59% shooting percentage. Tough inside, around the basket, can get to the foul line. He needs a big afternoon. Now for the Bucks, Tony Patterson, erratic to say the best. He needs a big tournament. He can rebound. He can score. He's an inside guy, too.
East Tennessee State's won a bunch in a row over the Citadel. They're favored today here in our second quarterfinal round game from Asheville. Stay with us. We'll meet the starters in just a moment. Citadel and East Tennessee State, game 2 in our quarterfinal round here in Asheville, North Carolina. Let's meet the starters for the Citadel Bulldogs. Here's the way they will line up against the Buccaneers. Moncrief Michael, averaging about 14 a game. Good inside player to forward. Matt Newman, big freshman, 6'9", 250. The guards, a 3-guard offense. Noe Castillo, it's 35% behind the three-point line. Chad Leonard, the point guard, and then Jamie Jenkins, number 15, a freshman. So a couple of freshmen starting for Pat Dennis in his 3rd year. Citadel 11-15 on the year. For the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State, they won 4 tournaments in a row before they lost a couple of years ago in the finals to UT Chattanooga. The Bucks will start this way. Junior Floyd, the senior, hit 4 threes in the first half, keying a big win over UTC on Monday night. Phil Powell at 6'7", a good rebounder, almost 9 a game, one of the league leaders. Tony Patterson is the key. The 6'9" senior averages about 15 a game. Then the backcourt, Robert Doggett, the senior, and Jeff Herman.
Randy, East Tennessee, this tournament for Coach Alan LaForce will test the pride of his program and the pride of his players because of the success that they've had, as you mentioned, over the previous 4 or 5 seasons. They have been, along with Chattanooga, one of the 2 dominant teams in this conference tournament.
They like to push it, too. They average about 80 points a game offensively, and they will jack up the threes.
And they want that pace quickened, to say the least. But turnovers like that have really dogged this team all year.
Turnover gives it to the Citadel. Bringing it up the floor now for the Bulldogs, Jamie Jenkins. Chad Leonard on the left side. On the block to Michael, stolen away by Jeff Herman. And they call a jump ball, and the possession arrow gives it to the Citadel.
Citadel lucky that time. That pass bounced off Michael's knees like a rock would hit the cement. That pass was not a good pass. They were lucky to get the tie-up and have the possession arrow.
Quick three for Castillo, misses it, and Tony Patterson high to get the board. Quickly to Junior Floyd from outside, he missed it. Out of bounds, it'll belong to the Buccaneers. We've played almost a minute. No score.
The Citadel playing with 3 guards for Coach Pat Dennis. East Tennessee, the bigger team, they should dominate these boards. If they don't get some seconds and thirds, it's only their fault. Citadel in a zone. 1-2-2.
Skip pass to Doggett. Doggett drives, drops it on the baseline to Powell. Counted in the foul. Bill Powell coasted down the baseline and got the layup.
Robert Doggett, one of the better assist men in the Southern Conference, splits the zone, finds the gap, and then finds the open man. And Powell is able to convert. Now the zone is being played simply because the Citadel is smaller. They want to force East Tennessee State to hit the outside shot. When that zone is broken down by penetration, the Citadel is in trouble.
East Tennessee with a 3-point play by Phil Powell takes a 3-0 lead. Bucks with pressure. Oh, they've got a triple team over there on Castillo. Citadel's got the numbers. And Matt Newman missed the dunk. Credit, great defense by Tony Patterson, who knocked that ball away from Newman.
Tony Patterson, a guy who sometimes has shown erratic play, finds a way to get the block and makes the big play defensively.
3-0 East Tennessee with a lead. 18:36 to go first half. Here's Michael, great post player inside despite being only 6'5". Jenkins misses it. Powell with a rebound. Bucks going to the glass well.
They're going to push it up quick and look for the quick hitter. If not there, look for the jump shot.
Patterson off the glass too hard. Michael with a rebound.
He rushed that a little bit. He was on the move. Didn't really give it a chance to go in.
Citadel, we played almost 2 minutes. Bulldogs looking for their first bucket. Almost got it, but the rebound goes to Phil Powell of East Tennessee State. Bucks giving Citadel only 1 shot. What a shot by Patterson. The lob, he was behind the glass, and the nice soft touch by Patterson gives East Tennessee a 5-0 lead.
Excellent hand-eye coordination.
He got a little help from the rim, but counts.
He put it up there soft enough and enabled it to roll around and go in. Now, the Bucks need plays like that in a big game from Patterson. Keep your eye on that. He is key.
5-0. Citadel has not scored. We've played over 2.5 minutes. On the block, here's Michael, stripped of the ball by Herman.
Looks like the Bucks will collapse every time Moncrief Michael gets it inside.
Long 3 by Junior Floyd. A little dead as it comes off the side. Citadel gets the board.
They can afford to not shoot well if defensively they can continue to get stops.
A foul on Moncrief Michael going over the back of East Tennessee's Phil Powell, who had position.
The Citadel team of Pat Dennis, a young team, a team that really hasn't been to this type of tournament before. Maybe playing a little tight. Moncrief Michael can ill afford to be in foul trouble for Citadel.
5-0 Buccaneers with the lead. In the corner to Herman it goes. Justin McClellan's in the ball game now for East Tennessee State. Herman, quick jumper, yes.
Reminiscent of the first game. Chattanooga jumps out to 7-0. Georgia Southern held on, made it a ball game all the way.
Into Michael. Great job of using the rim to protect that ball from Patterson as Michael went to the left hand.
Nice footwork. Step through the double team to the other side of the rim.
Herman open for three. Missed it. Patterson tipped it up and in. 4 for Patterson. And the Bucks lead again 7.
Boy, he's shown us some nice hands on that catch and on that tip. Little deliberate play, slowing of the pace.
Bucks with quick hands. Michael.
East Tennessee swarms defensively. The ball goes inside, they will collapse and swarm.
Powell got Michael off his feet, missed the shot. Doggett with a rebound. Again, only one shot for the Citadel. Doggett to Herman. And a holding foul against the Citadel, against Jeff Herman. Timeout on the floor, 15:28 to go here in the first half. It's been all East Tennessee State so far. We'll be back. There's some Buck fans, a bunch of them.
The Pirate ship is right out front.
Marshall plays in the first evening session game. They're going to bring a lot of people in here. Marshall will be taking on Appalachian State at 7.
Citadel back in their zone. They have to play this size.
Bad pass from Corey Johnson. That one rolled around, dropped off. Corey Johnson's got it. Good hands for East Tennessee's Corey Johnson. And they mug him. And finally coming out of the ball, Julian London at 5'6", smaller than Corey Johnson. Now Johnson's got it to Patterson for the dunk. Oh my.
Those are the kinds of plays that will really help East Tennessee. They need the quick hitters. They need the cheap baskets to force the tempo, make the Citadel play a quicker pace game.
There was nothing cheap about that. They had to work for it. There's a steal. Phil Powell again inside. It won't go, but a foul. And the Bucks with that pressure really hurting the Bulldogs early.
And Phil Powell has been on a roll. He's been rebounding. He's been scoring. He's been averaging 9.7 rebounds over the last 10 ball games. It's effort, good athletic skills. Tony Patterson shows you how easy it is when you get out as a big man and lead the break.
There's Alan LaForce. What a great job he's done. 5 seasons with this ball club. Percentage-wise, he's the winningest coach in East Tennessee history. Taking the team to 3 NCAAs.
That shooting percentage and those rebounds. As I said, over 9 rebounds a game the last 10 games.
Titus Shelton comes in for Phil Powell, who just knocked down a couple of free throws. Powell's got 5. The Buccaneers have an 11-point lead at 13-2 early. Here comes that pressure.
The Citadel not going to break that pressure and attack the backside of the basket or go for the layups. They're going to be content to play it on the half court, utilize clock.
Julian London puts it on the floor for Citadel. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. East Tennessee really making them work. London with a fake. Missed the shot into the hands of Matt Newman. Scramble for, and Robert Doggett comes out of there with it. Great pass to Corey Johnson. What a pass. 3/4 of the length of the floor from Robert Doggett.
Corey Johnson wide open. The guards for the Citadel got caught back up underneath the offensive glass.
Matt Newman missed the shot. McClellan with a rebound. Newman did a good job getting around Patterson, then missed the shot.
You have to finish.
Patterson with a follow and the foul on Matt Newman. Boy, East Tennessee really looking dominant early.
Tony Patterson playing that missed shot exceptionally well. He was wide open. Newman was trailing him by a couple lengths.
Into the game with the Citadel, number 50, Jackie Cunningham.
Coach LaForce's team has been able to score quickly. They've had their heads up. They've been alert. They've leaked out from time to time. more than anything, they have been the aggressor. They're all over the floor. Tony Patterson, way ahead of the game. He's had a good start for a player who's been criticized at times for being not prepared or having an up-and-down season. He's ready.
Out of bounds it goes, and Citadel gets it back. 13:20 to go here in the first half. The Buccaneers leading it 15-2.
At this point, Randy, maybe the Buccaneers could create a blowout early in this ball game, play a lot of people, and be prepared tomorrow for a showdown with the Mocs.
Well, what a war that's going to be. This place will be rocking tomorrow.
Oh, most certainly.
Of course, Citadel's not through yet.
No, they're not, but they're on the verge. A young team, not a big team.
East Tennessee State making Citadel work for everything they get, even a shot. And that time, Moncrief Michael still had to beat one man after he beat his man that was on him.
It's a real collision of styles. As you said, the Citadel going to be very patient. On the other hand, East Tennessee State very aggressive, showing help, halving, fronting inside, rotating down, making it very difficult for the Bulldogs to get an open look at the basket.
Jeff Herman in the ball game now for East Tennessee State, replacing Doggett, who will sit down.
Moncrief Michael, a young man who has really come into his own here in the second half of the season, Randy. Had some big games, has put this Bulldog team on his shoulders offensively.
Michael's got 2 for 2 at the line.
A little return of the press by the Bulldogs, but still falling back into their zone.
Down on the block to Phil Powell. East Tennessee being delivered. Corey Johnson with a 3 from the top of the circle.
It's important that the Bucks establish a good shooting rhythm. They get confidence because they struggle from the outside at times.
Good assist from Julian London to Jackie Cunningham for the bucket. So Castillo got it. McClellan flips it back to Johnson. 18-6, 12-point advantage East Tennessee State. 12 minutes to go in the half. McClellan's turnaround. Everything's going in now for East Tennessee State.
East Tennessee State utilizing guys off the bench, mixing it up with starters, still putting points on the board. You got to like it if you're Coach Allen LaForce.
Julian London takes it all away, missed it. Phil Powell had the rebound, taken away by London.
Littlest guy on the floor gets to the hoop and gets a rebound.
Castillo gets hot from out there. He could really cause some damage. He hits his first 3. That's a 20-9 ball game. Titus Shelton, saved by Herman.
East Tennessee State has to make sure that they don't cough the ball up. Make a series of turnovers that lets the Citadel back in the game.
Corey Johnson misses the 3. Michael with the rebound.
The Citadel playing that zone because of lack of size, but it also gives them pretty good rebounding situations. If they find a man to screen out, they'll eliminate the second and third shots.
Castillo in trouble. Nice feed to Michael for the jam.
Oh, you have to wonder where the help side was for the Bucks at that particular situation.
Citadel pushing and shoving its way back into this one. McClellan penetrates to Johnson. Whole slew of substitutes set to check in. 3 for the Citadel, 2 for the Bucks at the next opportunity.
Coach LaForce going to go back with Patterson, who had the hot hand early. The Bucks are laboring offensively.
A foul as Justin McClellan went to the hoop. It'll be on the Bulldogs. It'll be on Castillo, I believe.
Titus Shelton sets this whole play up. He's playing against a zone, splits the gap, draws the defenders, and finds a wide open Justin McClellan. You can't do that if you're playing zone. You can't let Titus Shelton split you, penetrate, and create situations on the backside of the zone.
16 fouls against Citadel as Corey Johnson gets a rest. He played well off the bench. Only 1 against East Tennessee in this half. McClellan misses the first free throw.
going back in with most of their starters at this point. Good help that time by the Bucks defensively against the penetration.
Cunningham missed the shot and rebound quickly out to Robert Doggett. McClellan fakes. Offensive foul against Justin McClellan as Cunningham had position. We'll take a break with 9:52 to go in the first half. East Tennessee leads it by 9. We'll be back to Asheville in a moment.
Moncrief Michael averages 14 points a game. He gets his 5th and 6th point the easy way. Nice backdoor cut. This young man, 59% from the field. It's pretty hard not to hit 59 with shots like that. Coach Dennis, Randy, not a traffic cop by any stretch of the imagination. Like his tie, but
yeah,
frustration.
That's what happens. You see that a lot when you got a couple of freshmen on the starting lineup, too.
Freshmen and sophomores with no tournament experience. Put gray hairs on your head.
Castillo against Patterson. Patterson fouled him. Castillo gets 2 shots.
You really think that Tony Patterson would save a foul in that particular situation going up against the smaller guy?
But that's only his first and only the 3rd team foul against East Tennessee here in the first half. Chad Leonard at the line, missed it.
Well, East Tennessee can afford some people with fouls. He's got a deeper bench than the Bulldogs of Pat Dennis.
Chad Leonard was the guy with the shot, not Castillo. So Leonard makes a free throw, makes 1 out of 2, 20-12. It's an 8-point Buccaneer lead.
Citadel in a little full-court pressure themselves, hoping maybe the turnover bug will jump into East Tennessee's repertoire.
Patterson in the corner, cross court to Herman, who squares up for a 15-footer short. Michael lost the rebound and picked it back up, and here come the Bulldogs.
Well, Herman had a good look at the basket that time. It wasn't even close, but he was wide open.
Scoop shot won't go. Herman gets the rebound. Here come the Bucks. Across the court to Floyd, who's open for 3. Swish, he hit it. When he's hot, he can do a lot of damage. He's 6'7", shooting that 3 out there. It's hard to defend him.
Certainly is when you're smaller like the Bulldogs are.
Offensive foul against Moncrief Michael. Junior Floyd had possession, and Moncrief Michael just ran over him right in front of him.
Dipped his shoulder and charged right over the top of Junior Floyd. Floyd now 2 back-to-back nice plays, the jumper and taking the charge.
Bucks by 11, 23-12. We're under 9 minutes to go in the half. And the Buccaneers want a 20-second timeout.
You know, it seemed like the Bucks labored a little bit offensively, allowing the Citadel back in the ballgame. Sometimes it takes defensive plays like Junior Floyd made right in front of us, where he took a charge after a basket to recharge your offensive batteries.
Well, Floyd charged the Buccaneers batteries big time Monday night against UTC at 12 points on 4 3-pointers in the first half, as the Bucks build an 18-point lead a couple of times, and they missed their free throws down the stretch, and UTC shot back into it. They beat the Mocs by 5 in Johnson City, but could have been a lot worse.
Well, we'll find out possibly how that might affect both teams tomorrow night, depending on the outcome of this game.
Doggett with a fake, puts it on the floor, drops it to Floyd, but a foul against Doggett. So they swapped offensive fouls in the last minute.
Robert Doggett got deep into the zone that time, but he left his feet and really hadn't made up his mind what he wanted to do with it.
Herman went for the steal. They're still fighting over it, and it'll belong to the Citadel. Great hustle and effort that time by Jeff Herman.
East Tennessee effective with their press. They're ever present. They're trying to get some knockaways, some steals. Got nice all-around size, good athletic skills, some quickness. Makes that press pretty daggone effective.
And now we're ready. Moncrief Michael will sit down. I believe he's got a cut or a scrape on his hand. And they're tending to that. Julian London will run the point. He's a 5'6" freshman from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Feisty fellow offensively, feisty floor general. Gives up something defensively with the lack of size.
A whistle. That one's knocked away. Citadel retains possession. Tell you, one of the feistiest players to ever play in this tournament, 1991, Keith Jennings. It shows you that there is a spot for little men in basketball. At 5'7", he's still with the Golden State Warriors.
No question.
All-American at East Tennessee.
Cannot measure a heart.
Matt Newman with a turnaround jumper over Patterson makes it a 9-point game.
Well, Newman will have to pick up the inside scoring with Michael out now, so that's a good start for him and Pat Dennis's Bulldogs.
Around the horn it goes. Patterson's open to the lane. He missed it. The rebound at 5'6", Julian London.
Good look, good shot. Just couldn't get it to go down.
Jackie Cunningham's got it on the right side. Spins to Newman in the front. Newman's hit 2 big ones in a row for the Citadel, and it's a 7-point ball game.
Very unselfish play by Jackie Cunningham.
Citadel's cut this Buccaneer lead in half. Herman on the baseline. Junior Floyd for 3. Too hard. Kept alive by Powell. Bucks reset it. Floyd to Patterson for the jam.
Powell and Floyd doing the dirty work, the offensive rebounding, the penetration and dish resulting in a basket.
When Junior Floyd is in there, the Bucks can start a pretty big lineup at 6'9", 6'7", and 6'7".
They should not miss or lose a rebound. Huh?
Castillo lost it. In the paint, it goes to Newman. And Newman is 3 for 3 from that very spot.
Newman is just using Tony Patterson right now offensively. Just turns and shoots at will.
Herman is open. On the block, Patterson spinning to Doggett for 3 out front. He's knocked to the floor, and he'll get 3 free throws. Julian London hammered him. If you can believe that Julian London at 5'6" knocked Doggett at 6'4" down.
Well, maybe Doggett helped himself down a little bit. London giving help on Tony Patterson, who commands that type of respect because of his offensive potential. Patterson kicks it out, and London tries to recover.
There's Junior Floyd getting a rest. Junior did not play a whole lot during the season. He's been a good role player for East Tennessee State. He's come on lately here in his senior year.
Tell you what, he brought some real intensity, some effort already in this first half when he came off the bench. Let's track that for East Tennessee and see if they can keep that at the level which he left it when he went to the bench.
Doggett. And Leslie Brunn, who hit a 3-pointer against UTC on Monday night. Patterson gets a rest.
Haven't given up much with Leslie in their size-wise, have they?
No, they haven't. And we'll take a timeout with 6:17 to go. Doggett 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Gives East Tennessee State a 10-point lead. And we'll be back in just a moment.
You need a little help from your friends or teammates, depending on what kind of activity you're in. Junior Floyd draws the defenders, makes it real easy for Tony Patterson. That is teamwork.
There's some Buck fans, a bunch of them up from Johnson City, which is not very far, about an hour and a half from here. 10-point lead for East Tennessee State. 6:17 to go in the first half.
And their Bucks have made them very happy so far in the first 14 minutes of this ball game.
50% from the floor for East Tennessee. The Bulldogs 37%. Julian London directing the offense for the Bulldogs. Dan Godown is in the lineup now, and he takes it to the hole and misses. Wesley Braun, 6'7", 230, got the rebound.
Good intensity that trip defensively by the Bucks.
Braun lost the ball. He walked. Got up in the air wanting the shot, and then saw a streaking Doggett going to the line, going to the hole, and walked and passed it at the same time.
Leslie probably figured out it was better for him to miss than someone else to miss.
Castillo has 1 free tonight on a holding foul against East Tennessee's Leslie Brunn against Matt Newman. That'll be team foul number 5 against the Buccaneers.
Big Leslie did a good job that time. Didn't quite get there, but he had the right idea. He was wrapped around and got a hand on it, almost got a knockaway, and got him with the body.
Moncrief Michael checks back in.
You can't play behind people, but what he got is that wraparound with the right hand. Got him caught and got him called for a foul.
Tony Patterson back in for East Tennessee State. Braun sits down. Chad Leonard. Matt Newman give and go down the lane. Leonard missed the shot. Rebound taken away by Patterson, who did a great job getting that ball out to Herman.
What could be really important for the Bulldogs is how quick they can get Michael back in the offense.
Counted in the foul. Justin McClellan with a great move and shot off the glass. Has a chance at a 3-point play for East Tennessee.
Justin McClellan just opened the bank in the second game this afternoon. Very quick move off the dribble. And the bank is now officially open. Not an easy shot, partner. If you've ever tried one of those on the move, not an easy shot.
McClellan, who's played pretty well off the bench today for East Tennessee at the line, got a 3-point play. 13-point lead, East Tennessee State. That equals their biggest.
East Tennessee still in that pressure.
And an offensive foul. Illegal pick against the Citadel. Jackie Cunningham.
Well, if you're Pat Dennis, you hate to see that. Those empty trips where you don't get a look at the basket or an opportunity to score. Those are coach killers, and you can tell when a coach puts his head in his hands that he is not pleased.
McClellan misses the front end.
McClellan scored the last 3 points. Missed that.
And he missed a pair. Bucks have really struggled as a team from the line. They hit only 64%.
And coming down the stretch in this tournament, that could be a factor.
That one's rimmed out on Noy Castillo. Quickly up to Corey Johnson. Castillo did a good job. Johnson gets it back and threw it away. Tapped out of bounds. East Tennessee gets it back.
Corey Johnson, bless his heart, tried to pass, tried to make something happen, but he was wide open for that little baseline jumper. You'd like to see him take it up and just knock it down. Passed into a crowd.
Doggett with a fake. And he threw it one way. McClellan went the other. As McClellan broke to the basket, thinking Doggett had shot the ball.
Same book, wrong page.
Also number 32, Randy Dodson.
4:23 to go here in the first half. Randy Dodson, a freshman, started a few games for East Tennessee. In fact, started as the Bucks went on a 5-game winning streak early in the year. He had an injury, set out a while. But there was a stretch where East Tennessee was starting a couple of freshmen, Titus Shelton and Randy Dodson.
He's what some coaches refer to as a true point guard.
That's something the Bucks do not have, much like UTC right now. Patterson Drops it to Powell. What a move by Phil Powell. And the Bucks have their biggest lead of the game now at 15.
Credit Tony Patterson. Nice move off the dribble. Found the open man. That's tough for a big man, a man his size. And then Powell, he made it look easy.
(33-18). 3:41 to go. First half.
Bulldogs need to capitalize now. Get two.
There's Matt Newman again. He's had a good half.
Newman scores with his back to the basket in low. He steps out to the foul line and knocks down a gentle jumper.
He's got 8. Corey Johnson wide open for a 3. He's the all-time leader in three-point shooting in high school basketball.
That's what you like to see someone do, like Corey Johnson. When left alone, stick it, bury it.
16-point Buccaneer lead. A little over 3 minutes to go in the first half. Michael missed the shot. Powell may have bothered that ball going up from behind a little bit.
First shot for Moncrief Michael since he came back onto the floor. He's been out of the offense, and he's pivotal.
Randy Dodson's got it. Patterson with a long shot. Too hard. Junior Floyd over the back. No doubt about that.
It's very tough, Randy, when your big man's at the foul line or the elbow area and takes the shot. It's very tough on your other two inside players. If they're out, they have to make a tremendous effort to get to the basket for the rebound, and that time it didn't work for the Bucks.
Timeout, 2:26 to go here in the half. East Tennessee State leads it by 16 big ones.
Corey Johnson has taken more three-point shots than anybody else on the East Tennessee State team. He shoots right at 40%. They left him alone last time. He passed on it. This time he does not pass. He flat buries it.
6 points for him. Tony Patterson's got 8. Doggett has 3. Moncrief Michael with 6. Castillo with 3. Early.
Citadel really has to get Moncrief Michael involved in this offense. Newman's carried his share, and he's been hot over the last 11 games, but Michael has become their go-to guy.
Tapped away. Look at those quick hands for East Tennessee State, and it belongs to the Buccaneers.
As you mentioned earlier, Randy, they have good size throughout on the front line, long arms, and you said quick hands. Defensively, when they want to play and turn the heat up, that's a real advantage.
There's the lob. McClellan had it off the hands of Matt Newman. Not a real good pass that time from Corey Johnson.
Why throw that right now with 2 minutes to go in a 16-point lead? Just keep attacking the zone, swinging the ball. Don't try anything fancy or something that might not work, huh? Of course, he said, how do I know it wouldn't work, Coach? Until I tried it, right?
On the right, it comes to Johnson. Tried to hit Patterson, and the Bulldogs tap it away. Bucks get it back. Dodson with it. Oh, my! That was behind the NBA three-point line here.
Whoa, is he back there, huh? Bombs away, bombs away.
19-point lead. Randy Dodson fills it up. Jenkins drops it to Newman, who hit again. Newman's got 10. He's been really all the offense the Citadels had.
He really has, and he hasn't had much help from his teammates as far as hitting the perimeter shot to pull that defense off him. So he's had to work real hard. He's earned every point he's gotten here in the first half.
Junior Floyd lights it up with a 3 from the corner. His second one. He's got 6.
I would say that the Citadel will probably be out of that zone in the second half. East Tennessee has managed to fill it up.
They've done it from a lot of different people. Down the lane, Cunningham missed the shot. Michael had it. He's fouled, and Michael gets 2 shots.
Well, you have to wonder how Michael or how Cunningham got to the basket that quickly, right down the middle. No one stepped up to pick him up.
Bucks got off to a 15-2 run to start the game. They're now on a 19-4 run over the last 7 minutes, and their lead is 20.
And it's very, very tough if you've got a young team like Pat Dennis has to go in halftime in the tournament and be down 20 and have a whole lot to motivate your players with. He has got his work cut out for him because East Tennessee has been almost flawless in effort and execution.
Moncrief Michael at the line with 6 points. He'll have a 1-and-1. 2 shots. He misses the first. 10 team fouls this half on the Citadel, 7 for East Tennessee State. Michael has struggled a bit today. He's got 6 still as he misses 2 straight free throws.
Again, it's tough for him, much like it's tough for Newman when the perimeter game of the Bulldogs is not working. You have to hit the outside shot to open up the inside.
16 seconds to go. Dotson out front, Bucks by 20. They have really dominated this first half.
Every facet of the game.
Hit 3 by Johnson, too hard. Patterson kept it alive, but he's climbing somebody's back. So that will put us at the other end for a 1-and-1 upcoming for the Bulldogs.
Big Matt Newman's one of those guys that does everything by the letters, it seems. He gets position, he establishes himself, he turns, and that time he had excellent position. He had pinned Patterson on his back, and Patterson really had no choice but to go up and reach over him or leave him alone.
2 fouls on Tony Patterson, so he sits down with 2 seconds left. Leslie Brunn replaces him. Newman at the line with a 1-and-1. His team down 20. And he got the first one to go down.
Nice touch for a big guy.
Has had a nice half. He's got 11 points. Already got over his average here in the first half. He hit a pair. We saw another big man in that Chattanooga game, Pat Henderson, come up with a career high 14. But the Buccaneers have an 18-point lead. 42-24 is the score at halftime. East Tennessee getting for a semifinal round matchup tomorrow night with UT Chattanooga. We'll have more from Asheville. Stay with us, Dave Weekly. We'll be by with some special guests and halftime activities. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of the Southern Conference Tournament in just a moment.
Thank you very much for your support.
Let's take a look at the stats of the first half. It was all East Tennessee State. Bucks lead it by 18 here at intermission. 35% from the floor for the Citadel, 56% for the Bucks, and 5 of those field goals have come from behind the 3-point line, and they pretty well distributed them. And Corey Johnson had 1, Junior Floyd a couple.
Huge rebounding spread. Offensively, East Tennessee did a very good job on the boards. Turnovers a little surprising. I thought there might be more for the Bulldogs.
The Buccaneers are just happy to keep it to 8 in the first half because turnovers have been a big bugaboo for them all year.
Well, the Bucks got a lot of easy shots, a lot of shots in transition where they really got the ball in the neighborhood, in the paint.
Moncrief Michael comes out for the second half. Bucks get the ball to start it. Now Michael's got a bandage on his left hand. He had a cut or a scrape in the first half as he dove for a ball.
Something like that, Randy, with Newman with 12 and Patterson, Johnson both 8. Something like that on your hand doesn't necessarily affect it, particularly if you're right-handed. That is on his left hand. He is right-handed.
Matt Newman gets the rebound off the miss. Here come the Bulldogs down 18 as we start the second half. Jamie Jenkins had his shot rejected by Jeff Herman, who followed him all the way and then knocked it out of bounds.
The Bulldogs can throw a scare into the Bucks if they can convert a couple here very quickly.
There's Castillo. He can convert them real quickly. They go for the rebound. Newman took it away from Patterson. Powell rejected it and got the rebound. Great job by Phil Powell.
Where did he come from?
Herman. Off the assist from Patterson. Great shot by Jeff Herman.
Very unselfish play by Tony Patterson, the 6'9" senior from Flat Lick, Kentucky.
Buccaneers lead by 21.
Newman thinks he's got it, but he doesn't. Out of nowhere, Phil Powell, and he puts an Elvis Presley on him. Return to sender.
Jamie Jenkins drives all the way in, gets the bucket. I like that. I haven't heard that.
When you have enough of those in your career sent back to you, you figure some way to.
Junior Floyd with it now for East Tennessee State. Patterson again with a feed down low to Powell, and he made it happen.
Patterson showing us a little bit more to his game than just offense.
Got a couple of assists early here in this half. Bucks lead 21 now. And Phil Powell is holding Moncrief Michael, trying to defend him. A guy that's that quick and that good in the post area, a lot of times you have to do anything you can to keep him from getting the ball.
Mano a mano inside, and I think Phil Powell a little taller, maybe more experienced. But Michael, an up-and-comer in this league.
Michael spins and shoots and hits. Now that's the Moncrief Michael we saw a couple of weeks ago at home against VMI.
Very strong, good lower body strength, establishes position, and moves quickly.
Floyd with a great feed, and Tony Patterson's got his third dunk of the game, and credit Junior Floyd with the assist.
Excellent pass, because Patterson allowed Newman to go where he wanted to defensively, and then Floyd had to see that and realize it. He did. He put the ball on the money.
21-point lead for the Bucks. Junior Floyd looked at me and winked after he made that assist. Said, you thought I was going to shoot it, didn't you?
He probably maybe thought he did shoot it, huh?
Patterson with the ball. There's Patterson's jumper, and boy, I tell you, the Bucks are just doing everything right this evening.
Very, very impressive. Everybody scores. The ball's moving quickly, and defensively, they're still getting after it out here.
51-28, 23-point lead. The Bucks' biggest, and a holding foul against Tony Patterson, who just got his third foul. Now that will be critical. Justin McClellan is up off the bench. With a big lead especially, you're going to see Patterson go to the bench for a while until they need him.
It's not bad, as you said, in this situation, but there's 2 more games before you get to go to the big dance, and if you get used to making fouls like that, silly type fouls when they're not needed, then someplace down the road, down the stretch, you might make it. It would be in a very critical situation.
Before the shot by Jenkins, a foul. Bucks are on a 9-4 run since the half started.
The Bulldogs really never have gotten untracked from the perimeter. Utilize the 3-point game, which they have utilized very successfully during the year.
Moncrief Michael with it. Castillo penetrates, tries to drop it to Michael, threw it right to Doggett, who could.
Not good decision that time. The Bucks had reacted. They had pinched in defensively. A lot of white shirts forced pass.
Bucks defensively have just taken Citadel out of anything they want to do. 4-on-1. Junior Floyd lost it, and they lost it out of bounds.
Had the numbers. Tomorrow evening, they'll need to convert that one.
Pat Dennis has put his jacket on. He had it off earlier.
He's done a good job with this young team. They've got a bright future.
Nice guy. Offensive foul. We go the other way. Junior Floyd set the pick, or threw the charge with great position. That's 2 he's drawn this ballgame.
Junior's crowned king of taking the charge here this afternoon. He moves those feet quickly. He may have leaned a little bit. Nice Hollywood, though. Nice Hollywood.
Jeff Herman for 3. Swish. He hit it. East Tennessee just blowing Citadel out of this arena.
Who is this Herman guy? Where did he come from, huh?
Came from Chattanooga. He wants a shot at the Mocs tomorrow night, I guarantee you.
As he lit it up.
It's a transfer from Austin P. Before the basket, a foul on Justin McClellan, and Moncrief Michael draws the foul. Jeff Herman played at Austin P, one of the top three-point shooters in the OVC before he came over here a couple of years ago.
Well, you knew Michael couldn't be held in check the whole game. He's got too much confidence in his game. He's played too well. That time he just takes it and slashes to the hoop.
Good body control. Out of bounds it goes. Citadel lost it. Bucks get it back with 16:22 to go here in the ball game. It's a 54-28 lead for East Tennessee State.
Tough on that bench right there. This game way out of hand already. Team of the year, a young team. Really tough to get the team to respond.
You saw the Bucks are hitting 7 out of 14, 50% from behind the three-point line.
Citadel has made them earn it, playing that zone. They've made them stick it.
Foul on Matt Newman, number 52, the big freshman. I tell you, the future is bright for Pat Dennis at the Citadel. We're going to take a timeout, 15:58. We'll elaborate on that when we come back. East Tennessee State with a huge lead, 54-28. We're back in a moment. Lodge with quality service at affordable prices in Asheville. Spend the night out of fortune. Junior Floyd drops it inside. Justin McClellan gets the layup, and the Buccaneers have a 28-point lead. They've doubled up on the Citadel.
Sweet pass by Floyd again.
And Castillo couldn't handle it. Junior Floyd was all over him, and look at him. They're having a ball in here, aren't they? Castillo couldn't handle it, went off him out of bounds.
The constant pressure by the Bucks, this time in the form of Junior Floyd. And I'll tell you what, they have got the excitement, the intensity for tournament play.
Jeff Herman misses the three. Michael with a long rebound. Julian London misses the shot. Castillo for three, and a foul on Junior Floyd, who really was kind of knocked to the floor and knocked Castillo's feet out from under it. So that will give Castillo, who's an 83% foul shooter, 3 shots.
Junior's enthusiasm caught up with him just a little bit on that particular play. The Bulldogs keep it alive.
See, he was knocked to the floor.
No question about it. That looked like a play in the outside linebacker position in an NFL game.
Floyd, there was nothing Floyd could do right there. He said, hey, I didn't mean to.
His hands were tied. Wasn't quite as happy getting up, though, on that play, was he?
Nope. Castillo will get 3 shots. One of the best foul shooters in the league, 83% in the year. From New Albany, Indiana, a sophomore. One of several good-looking young players for Pat Dennis. We told you we'd elaborate on why the future is bright. Well, you look at Castillo as a sophomore. Moncrief Michael's a sophomore. Jamie Jenkins, who started as a freshman. Julian London's a freshman. Matt Newman's a freshman. Jackie Cunningham's a freshman. All these people have played today.
Dan Go down as a freshman.
Right.
What Pat Dennis has to do now in the future is put the pieces together. The puzzle's out there in front of him and his players, and it's up to them in combination to put the pieces together.
Here's Newman, rejected by Floyd, and a foul. Junior Floyd just picked up his second foul in about 30 seconds.
You never want to temper somebody's enthusiasm too much. You want to encourage everyone to play hard and play smart. But you know what? You can't teach enthusiasm. That comes from the heart. Junior Floyd is a very enthusiastic player, to say the least.
Matt Newman goes to the line, a 60% foul shooter for the Citadel. Newman's had a nice ball game for the Bulldogs.
Played with a lot of confidence inside.
He's got 12 points to lead the Bulldogs today. And Floyd, who just picked up a foul, will sit down. It's his 3rd foul. So the Bucks now with 3 players with 3 fouls, but with a 24-point lead, it's not that important yet. Newman gets 2 out of 2.
Over the last 11 games, he's averaged 13 and change and 8 and change rebounds. So he's the guy that's really come on here as a freshman, gained a lot of confidence.
Here's Justin McClellan taking it, dropping it in a block. He dropped it down low to dog it. But the foul will be against the Citadel.
Jackie Cunningham really not moving quite quick enough with his feet to get in and take that charge. of course, the penetration the Bucks get deep into that zone.
Jeff Herman will sit down, Doggett will sit down, and Corey Johnson, Randy Dodson check in for the Buccaneers.
Coach Alan LaForce has a chance to rest some of his main players right now for tomorrow night. Also get some of his bench people tournament exposure.
Titus Shelton also came in for the Bucks. Their lead is 25 again as McClellan gets the layup. And McClellan just took that pass away as Cunningham tried to go to Newman. One freshman to another.
Cunningham next year will jump up and shoot that ball and make him play.
Offensive foul on Phil Powell as he tried to power his way up between two defenders.
Now that's a call you rarely see made against the offensive player in that situation.
Team 7. End of the game for the Citadel, number 4, Moncrief Michael.
14:25 to go. Newman will sit down for the Citadel. Chad Leonard back in. The tallest starter out there for the Citadel now is Michael at 6'5". They've got 3 or 4 guards in there.
3 true guards and 2 swing players. So in all actuality, they are all guard team.
Julian London out front. Castillo, they drop it to Michael. Spins, missed the shot. Michael got the rebound and the follow. Great effort by Moncrief Michael.
Got a lot of heart, a lot of talent, a lot of heart.
58-35, 13:48 to go. Dodson drops it back to Corey Johnson. Johnson had it knocked away, but Dodson picks it up and just nailed a 3.
Have the Bucks been hot from Treyville, or have they been hot?
That's 2 for Dodson. What a move by London. The only thing is the ball went off the glass instead of the basket.
You have to finish. If you start the move, start the play, you have to be able to finish.
Over 13 to go. A foul on Justin McClellan as he knocks Jackie Cunningham to the ground accidentally, we might add.
What we saw was simply the quickness and the overall size of the Bulldogs really allow them to turn up the heat defensively. They're hustling, they're scrambling inside. Look at all the light blue shirts there. The type of team they have on the floor really facilitates that type of play.
It's awful early for Citadel to be getting into a 1-and-1. But that's what we have, is that is team foul number 8 on East Tennessee State. 22nd timeout requested by East Tennessee State. Well, we have 2 more big quarterfinal round games here in the Southern Conference Tournament. Game 3, a big one, Marshall against Appalachian State. A lot of people feel like Marshall could be the favorite since UTC lost their big center, Roger Smith. The Mocs won today. East Tennessee looks awfully good, but Marshall under Billy Donovan will play the Mountaineers in the first game. Second game around 9:30 or so. Davidson against Western Carolina, and the 2-time Conference Player of the Year Frankie King brings his Catamounts into the game against the Davidson Wildcats. Davidson was in the championship against UT Chattanooga and lost last year. So 2 more great games coming up tonight.
Marshall has a lot of weapons. Davidson been an up and down year. In Western Carolina, what I like about Frankie King is he plays hard at both ends. He's all over that floor.
First shot by Jackie Cunningham is good. Tell you what, anytime you got a Frankie King of the lineup, you're in just about every game you play. You might not win them all, but you have a chance to win a lot of them.
But you know, everybody talks about Randy, his scoring skills and the points he scores, but when we had him a couple of weeks ago on television, what impressed me was this young man really gets after it defensively. He gets some knockaways, he strips, he passes the ball. He's not just a scoring machine.
Under 13 minutes to go. It's a 24-point Buccaneer lead, 61-37. Titus Shelton all the way. Missed it in the foul. East Tennessee State won 4 straight tournament championships from 1989 through 92.
We talked in the open about testing the pride of Coach LaForce's program, of his team. And they seem like they're ready to play. They're right on the edge.
Line number 20, Titus Shelton.
Shelton got the first free throw.
It's only natural when you had the success that the Bucks had for so long there that they have a little slippage when you have graduation and you replace people. You just don't want to slip off the map. You want to be able to come back. It looks like they have a real opportunity here in this tournament to regain their prominent position in the Southern Conference.
25-point lead for the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. A lot of time to go, though. Castillo with a quick 3, short. Michael got the rebound. Castillo again for 3. This time he nailed it.
It's like going to the state fair for that young man. You give him 2, he knows he's going to make 1.
That's why you don't need to give him 2.
Absolutely.
Junior Floyd, there's another guy you can't give him that shot at all, and he just knocked it down.
How about a junior? Yes, sir. He likes that. Yeah. We do too, Junior. I love his enthusiasm.
65-40 as he answers Castillo's 3. Off balance one-hander by Castillo. He forced that. Wide open, Shelton, count it, plus the foul on Matt Newman.
Well, the Bulldogs have no choice because of the score but to play man-to-man. They've come out of their zone, been forced out of their zone, and consequently the overall quickness and speed of the Bucks really comes back to haunt them defensively. A confusion in defensive assignments results in an easy basket and a foul on Matt Newman.
Newman will sit down. Leslie Bruin will come into the lineup for the Buccaneers.
Now, Leslie looks like maybe he should be in an NFL tryout camp. Huh?
Probably so. You're not going to out-muscle him in any game, I promise you.
No, sir.
And a steal. Corey Johnson just stripped Michael of the ball, 3-on-1, and then London with great quickness gets it back. Look who's there. Junior.
It's that time for Junior now. He knows what to do in a situation like this. He ran right to the basket. He gives you a lot of effort, and there it is. You know, hey, everybody gets a chance to score. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Long 3 by Dan Godown. Misses, out of bounds it goes, and I think Jimmy Howe is going to. Anyway, we'll take a timeout while they decide who gets the ball when we come back. 11:06 left. Stay with us.
The East Tennessee Bucks have been very unselfish all game long. They've moved the ball. The ball has found the open man. They've given up their bodies defensively. They've rebounded well. And #1 cheerleader and head hustler, Junior Floyd, the senior from Gastonia, North Carolina, has had a ball, has he not?
He certainly has. Of course, a lot of guys do when you're up 29 in the second half of any ball game. 11 minutes to go. UTC struggle a bit, but they beat Georgia Southern 70-66 in our first game. They'll meet this East Tennessee State team tomorrow, provided Citadel does not have a miracle rally from 29 down. Michael over Leslie Braun. That's a mismatch because Michael's just too quick.
Michael, if you watch him very closely, excellent balance. He has a nice wide base. He's very quick, which enables him to get that shot off against a taller player.
Bucks have the basketball up 27. Titus Shelton is fouled by Chad Leonard.
Leonard had a mismatch, and it certainly was not in his favor.
13, Chad Leonard, his fourth.
Size-wise, he's 6'1", guarding the 6'5" Titus Shelton. And when Shelton went through his legs and behind his back, Leonard lost track of him.
Inbounds to Junior Floyd. Corey Johnson, who's hit a couple of big threes for the Bucks in there today. They've had a lot of threes, but a lot of different people who shot them.
Good scoring balance.
Titus Shelton knocks down about a 10-foot jumper. He's got 4.
The freshman from Spartanburg, good off that dribble. Makes a nice quick penetration.
Noe Castillo drives a baseline all the way. Sometimes you overplay that 3, and every once in a while somebody like Castillo with good speed and good ability will zip past him.
Well, I'd rather make him put it on the floor and go to the basket than give him a wide open look with that 3.
71-44. Long 3 by Corey Johnson.
How many points did you say he scored in high school?
He scored 72 in one game and over 60 a couple of other times, shooting
man.
Just like that.
So
He got it up there in a hurry.
Back when we played, that was more than both teams scored, right?
A 3 for Dan Godown. It didn't go down, and Dotson got the rebound.
I wish Dan would get one to go down, right?
Here's Junior Floyd. He misses the 3. Titus Shelton hustles for the rebound. Titus Shelton again tries the other side, and it goes in.
Good playing time for the freshman. He's going to establish some confidence, not only himself, but in Coach LaForce.
And a steal for Shelton. You told us. He missed the dunk. That's 2 dunks we've seen missed today.
Titus may have hurt himself a little bit. He's sucking wind right now.
We had a player for Georgia Southern, Dante Gay, missed a dunk on that same goal. How many times do you see that?
Not very often, and I'll tell you what, I bet both of them wish they had him back.
Yeah. Titus is a little winded out there as Coach LaForce looks at him. Guys, let's not let this thing get sloppy. This is a 22nd timeout. Just calm them down a little bit. Let's take another look at Shelton with a missed opportunity.
It's hard to explain this, except the legs just don't work. When the legs don't work, it's tough to dunk. Now for the Bulldogs,
well,
they stay right with it, Randy.
I tell you what the players would tell you. The players would say that goal's 11 feet high.
No.
They can get up higher than that.
I think the players probably will make fun of Titus before it's over. I think he's going to have a long evening, a long dinner about that one.
Mike Biggs, number 34, freshman from Elmira, New York, 6'8", 205, is in the lineup for East Tennessee State, seeing his first action.
Coach LaForce playing everybody. Doesn't want anybody to get hurt.
Leslie Braun stripped of the ball, got it back. 7 on the shot clock. Here's Corey Johnson feeding it. It's stolen away. Tried to hit Doggett. Then a foul against East Tennessee. Leslie Braun, out of frustration, reaching in. He's getting a lecture right now from Coach LaForce.
Yes, he is. Coach LaForce doesn't want to put on that happy face yet. But down inside, he's already plotting tomorrow night's rematch with the Mocs.
Those two teams split during the year. Neither game was a close ball game. The Mocs won pretty handily in Chattanooga. The Mocs shot themselves back into it in Johnson City, losing only by 5, but it could have been a lot worse. East Tennessee with a couple of 18-point leads. So two real blowouts for the most part.
East Tennessee has been a funny team all year. They lose at home and win on the road, and that's unusual in college basketball.
And we'll take a timeout with 7:44 to go in the contest. It's been all East Tennessee State so far, 76-47. The Bucks lead it. We'll be back.
I heard a coach say one time, play every shot by your teammates as if they're going to be missed. And that's exactly what Titus Shelton does. He has excellent weak side position. Look at that hand control of the ball. Excellent hands by the freshman. Excellent effort. Goes to the other side of the rim, using it as a extra shield. Heads up play by the youngster.
Into the front court now, East Tennessee State with a huge lead. Time running out on the Citadel. Julian London in the front court. A quick three by Jamie Jenkins misses. Newman with a follow, missed it. London at 5'6", in trouble. Somehow gets it back out to Jackie Cunningham, and we'll reset it here for the Bulldogs.
With the team that East Tennessee has on the floor right now, you think that maybe Citadel would get it inside to the big guy, Matt Newman.
You saw the bench scoring. East Tennessee's bench had outscored Citadel 33-7 in this ball game. It's about what the margin is here, so there's your story.
Everybody contributed to the Bucks this afternoon.
Corey Johnson, this is the three. Newman with a rebound. Great pass. London to a streaking Jamie Jenkins for the layup.
Bulldogs still hanging tough. No lack of effort.
6:27 to go. Dodson. East Tennessee headed for a showdown with UTC in the semifinals tomorrow night. Doggett works off the pick. 4 seconds. Offensive foul. Robert Doggett. Good positioning that time from Jackie Cunningham.
Robert Doggett dipped that shoulder right in front of the referee. And when you dip the shoulder, the flags go up. I'm not so sure that Jackie Cunningham really was set, Randy, as much as when that shoulder goes down like a football player going through the line, the whistle goes in the mouth for the referee.
There's 6 minutes to go.
Throw that ball into the big guy. There you go.
Matt Newman, that was working for him in the first half. Didn't get it to fall that time. Shelton with a rebound. Julian London with a good defensive play.
You never know whether they will continue to fall or not unless you feed the big guy. It's kind of like going to the zoo. You got to feed the big guys and see what they can do.
Also in the game now, Dan Godown. Mike Biggs is on him. Jenkins sweeved his way around Leslie Brunn. Brunn and Newman fight for it, and finally Brunn is hit with a foul.
That was a battle. Big Matt Newman at 60 and Leslie Brunn 6'7", listed at 230. I don't know if I buy that one.
No, I don't either.
Jenkins gets to the rim, and now the battle begins. Two heavyweights slugging it out. John Moreau, well-traveled, well-thought-of referee, right on top of that one.
Well, we got some heavyweight officials in this game, too, that's for sure.
Very strong crew. Double-double for the big guy.
So Newman knocks it down again, 76-50. 26-point Buccaneer lead, 5:08 to go. Corey Johnson open for three, missed it. Newman with a rebound. I like Matt Newman. He's done a good job.
Oh,
no call, and a good no call. Cunningham
excellent.
gets the bucket.
Excellent no call. You just kind of wondered how that all happened, but at least the referees let it go.
Foul number 21,
Dan Godown hit with a personal foul as he fouls East Tennessee's Mike Biggs, and Biggs gets a shot at some points. He'll get a 1-and-1. Pat Dennis has really been subdued the second half of this game, hasn't he?
Really has, and it's tough when your team is still giving their all as Cunningham jumps over the Buck defender. Your team's giving it all, and they're still down 20. It's really tough, particularly when it's the end of the season. What do you say to your team, Randy? Except keep playing hard, guys.
Just don't give up. Don't give up.
Exactly right. Pat Dennis's team hasn't.
Mike Biggs finally gets a point. Mike not seeing a lot of action, but he goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
You know, if you're coaching a team that's getting beat first round of the tournament, and you've got a lot of seniors. You can play your young kids on the bench, or you can stay with your seniors. But when you play nothing but young players, like Pat Dennis does, then you have to stay with them. You have to let them play.
Dan Godown knocks down a three. I didn't want to say got it to go down. That's
go ahead. We've been waiting for that one.
We've been waiting for it. It's kind of like the dog that chased the car. When he caught it, what do you do with it?
You don't bite the tires, do you?
78-55. A foul on Jamie Jenkins that'll stop the clock with 4:08 to go. Well, don't go away, because we got more action from the Southern Conference tournament coming later tonight. Appalachian State and Marshall at 7, and around 9:30, Western Carolina and Davidson toss it up.
We had a Appalachian State Marshall game in Huntington earlier in the year, Randy. And App really struggling. They've been on the road, and Marshall very much on an uptick. And Appalachian made that game for 40 minutes. They never got blown out, and they were hanging around. So this ought to be a nice rematch.
Randy Dodson makes the first free throw. Two for two for Dodson, the freshman. 80-55. Buccaneers in control.
Really have been in control wire to wire.
Quick three by Julian London misses. The rebound to big Leslie Brunn. Buccaneers without a single starter on the floor right now.
Resting the main players.
Out of bounds it goes right in front of us, and it'll be controlled by East Tennessee State. Timeout on the floor with 3:45 to go in the contest. East Tennessee State with a big 25-point lead. We'll be back to Asheville in just a moment. 3:45 left in the contest. Big lead for East Tennessee. The Citadel probably going to extend this streak. They have not won a Southern Conference tournament game since 1985 when Les Robinson was coaching.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Pat Dennis gets a chance to add a few players in key situations or positions on his team with what he has. He'll win one very shortly.
Mike Biggs to the front court now. 3:20 to go. A big pile-up offensive foul against Randy Dodson of East Tennessee State.
Dodson got in a little deep with the taller timber, left his feet. Tough to convert down there unless you can get an excellent look at the basket.
.316 to go now in the game. Long three by Dan Godown. Missed it. Cunningham follows and got it.
Nice quick move.
Cunningham, the freshman, one of many to play for Pat Dennis. Realistically, having lost 9 in a row to East Tennessee, not anybody expected Citadel to come in here and win except for Pat Dennis. He actually said, we play well, we have a chance.
That's why they call him coach.
Right.
You don't believe, nobody believes.
Mike Biggs with a three. Missed it. Corey Johnson hustles and gets the rebound. 2:30 to go. A fresh 35 on the shot clock for East Tennessee State. .219 left. East Tennessee milking the clock. Titus Shelton with it now. Little running one-hander. What a move by Shelton. He scooped it in front.
A la Dr. J, a little slash to the paint, finger roll.
Titus Shelton, a member of the all-conference freshman team, as is Matt Newman. Godown gets the bucket. The lead is 21. Corey Johnson out front. The string here in Asheville.
The Bucks spreading the floor, running the clock.
10 on the shot clock now. Minute 30 in the game clock. Dodson makes the move. Dotson is fouled as he was attempting a three, so he'll get 3.
Not a good place and time to make that foul.
East Tennessee had pretty much run the clock down.
Team 9.
Maybe a foul of frustration.
To the line, number 32, Randy Dotson, shooting 3 shots.
3 for Dotson, as also checking into the lineup now for East Tennessee State, James Abrams. As Corey Johnson gets a nice hand as he sits down, he gets a standing ovation from the crowd, the Buccaneer crowd. And leading the cheers, Junior Floyd on the side.
Our man, Junior.
3 free throws for Randy Dotson as a freshman. He's a good foul shooter, 75%.
This young man figures prominently in Coach LaForce's future plans.
Second one is good.
Don't you love it, or wouldn't you love it as a three-point shooter to get fouled out there, to get to the foul line?
If I was a good free throw shooter as well as a three-point
How
shooter,
many
yes.
good three-point shooters are not good foul shooters? It's usually
I've
the
seen
big
several,
guys.
yeah.
Usually big guys struggle at the foul line.
James Abrams strips him of the ball. He wanted a dunk. James Abrams.
Let's hope he's more successful than the last 2 guys that got breakaway dunks, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes anybody miss a dunk, and we've seen 2 in 2 straight games.
Yeah, you can go a couple, 2-3 years.
Foul number 32, Randy Dotson. To the line, shooting 2 under 50, Jackie Cunningham.
Cunningham at the line with 1:18 to go. And he makes the first one.
Chance to fatten your average.
2 for 2 for Cunningham. Makes it a 22-point ball game as Dotson and Biggs bring it up the floor. Of course, don't you know James Abrams would love to get in the scoring column. Biggs has got a couple.
Big Leslie needs some. I thought he had it. Looked good.
He squared up nicely, didn't he?
He sure did. Let it go effortlessly.
Cunningham missed. Biggs with a rebound. Here we go the other way.
Regulation.
Leslie Braun. Oh, what a shot. And boy, did he hit the floor hard.
Now the big guy has his chance.
Number 52, Matt Ewing.
The only problem with that shot is Leslie Brun shakes his head as he tried to bank it from the wrong side. He got turned around.
Oh, my.
The big guy lost his lift.
You can't fault the effort, though, on that shot. Leslie Brun at the line with 2 shots. He may have better luck from the other side. Oh,
show us this soft touch now, big fella. Knock it down. There he goes.
much better. Missed, though. Newman with a rebound.
He had that one.
40 seconds to go. Jenkins with a 3. Mike Biggs with another rebound. That guy's played well off the bench for East Tennessee.
What can you say about the Bucks bench?
Look at James Abrams. Biggs got the tip, missed the tip. Getting sloppy here. 3 on 2. Cunningham dropped it out of bounds. It belongs to East with 20 seconds to go.
Julian London that time got it to the rim. Realized that he was just too short to finish. Found the open Cunningham, but Cunningham could keep the handle on.
Dotson into the front court. Here's James Abrams. Everybody in the building's wanting him to shoot, and he hadn't gotten a shot off yet. Julian London with a snowbird. He made it with 2 seconds, and that's going to do it. 2 seconds left. Biggs with a half-court shot. Ooh, he almost got it. And East Tennessee State has advanced to the semifinal round of the Southern Conference Tournament as the Buccaneers defeat the Citadel 85-65. We'll be back with more from Asheville in just a moment. Stay with us.